there a different vibe in the building in a rivalry week like this?
Well, obviously, it's a huge game. The rivalry is part of it. It's the last game of the season. A lot of things on the line. I think our guys are excited. They've been through a lot, obviously, this year. And so, that being said, we got a lot of things to be grateful for, a lot of things to be thankful for here on Thanksgiving week. But we're thankful for this one more opportunity and this great game, and it should be a great environment, and looking forward to going over and playing.
You are a newcomer to the rivalry.
Yeah.
There's several guys on your staff who aren't. Do you lean on JC, DB, Prelo? Do you have them say anything special?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, obviously when I got here, you start hearing about it. So you know the importance of it. And then as you hear some of the stories from years past, and some of them not too far in the past, some of the things that have gone on, how intense the rivalry is. Been involved in a lot of rivalry games over the course of my career, so I'm excited about this opportunity to go over with this group of guys and experience this rivalry together.
Is there a way to get the players focused for a rivalry game based on how you've done it in the past, or is it just what game is coming up?
Honestly, most of the time in these rivalry games, if you're having to give speeches to try to get them up to play, then it's probably going to be a long game. And so I think these guys are locked in, they're focused, they're excited about the opportunity to go over, play in this game, be a part of this rivalry, but also to finish up our season in a really positive way. And so this is a big game, it's for the Cup, and our guys are excited about that.
You talk rivalry for the Cup, everything. The opportunity to play spoiler, do you bring that up at all? Is that
there's so many different variables to it. There's a lot of things that are going to go into it, but at the end of the day, it's got to be about us and what we do and how we step on the field, and it's got to be, a three-phase type win. It's going to take 60 minutes for us to go get this done. They're a good football team. They've had a good year, but all of those things are thrown out the window when you step in between the white lines and you got to go play the game.
I know the injury report coming out later this week. Hawkins looked like he got dinged up or something a little bit in the third quarter. Are you encouraged by his progress at all?
Yeah, we'll see how the week goes. You know what I'm saying? He did some good things today, but we'll see how it all progresses with all those guys. I mean, we had a very physical ball game the other night. I'm sure you felt it. And so, you've got a short amount of time to get back. And right now it's about getting as healthy as you can and being able to step out there on that field and go compete.
The run game has grown so much in the last couple of weeks. It's been one of the most exciting things to watch. Speak on that group of those running backs and how you guys can kind of maybe capitalize this week with a kind of less so defensive room for
Well, I think our offensive line, has been nice to have those five guys consistently in the same spot. That's helped tremendously. They're playing with a lot of heart up there. The backs are running extremely hard, and you got to add the tight ends to that factor, right? We're using them in a lot of different ways, and so to be able to kind of create our own niche when it comes to the run game, it's going to have to be important for us this weekend. I think those guys have done a tremendous job. I mean, we faced some really tough run defenses over the last several weeks, and those guys have really stepped up to the challenge, and we're going to face another tough one this week, and so we got to be on point. We got to get things targeted right, and then we got to play with the type of physicality that we play with.
Looking back, was that one of those things that you wanted to initiate immediately when you took this interim head coach position, is open up the run and get better up front?
Well, I think the biggest thing is trying to get healthy up front. When we first went through the transition of it all, one of those games, I think we had 4 freshmen playing up front. And then it was just gradually getting guys back and getting healthy and then finding the right combination of those 5 guys as they got on the field. And then you started to see the progress that we were making there and knew that it could potentially be a strength of ours. And so I think we've tried to build on that strength throughout the weeks, and those guys have really stepped up to the challenge of that.
What does it do to add a home run hitter like Overton to the mix?
Yeah, I think, adding Jeff to that, I think, Hawk and Terrion, both of those guys are really good backs in what we do. They're hard to tackle, they're physical, they got a good gear, they're doing a great job of, when they get to the next level, making guys miss or running through a tackle. When you add Jeff to that mix, he's just a different style of runner than those two. And, obviously you saw it the other day on display. I mean, when he hits a crease and he's got an open lane, he's got the opportunity to make it a really explosive play. And so he adds a different dimension, a different style of running back, and I think that just helps us continue to grow.
Has his addition kind of been just like a bonus? Did you expect anything out of him this year coming off a knee injury like that?
You know, we always felt like we were going to have the opportunity to have him maybe the last 3 or 4 games, kind of the way it's ended up. But you never know how that's going to play itself out at the end when you're dealing, coming off of surgery and injury like he had. But he had progressed really well leading up to that point. And, as you can tell now, he's starting to knock a little bit more rust off, getting more adjusted to the speed of the college game. I think those factors are really starting to help him. And, we expect big things not only this week from him, but, for the years to come.
All you Texas guys seem to know each other. Did you have much history with Chandler Morris?
Yeah, I mean, his dad and I have known each other for years.
So how long have you been aware of him as a quarterback and how he plays?
Yeah, I mean, when you got to understand, like when I was coaching in high school in Texas, I was at Stephenville High School. When we left, Chad actually became the head coach at Stephenville High School. So Chandler was a, little dude back then. And so you've gotten a chance to watch him grow, watch him develop. He's done a great job. He's had a different story, from a college football standpoint, just where he started and the different spots that he's been in. And so gotten the opportunity to watch him. He's done a tremendous job everywhere he's been. Great competitor, coach's kid. I know Chad's really proud of him. And, they're a great family for sure.
What's the key to slowing down a quarterback like that who just manages to keep plays alive?
Yeah, he does a really good job of, even when he gets moved out of the pocket or moved off the spot, he does a great job because he's played a lot of football, keeping his eyes down the field, finding guys. He has the ability to scramble and run, so you got to be aware of those things. So we got to do a great job of understanding we do want to get him off the spot, but we want to keep him contained. And when you got an opportunity to get him on the ground, we got to get him on the ground and not allow him to escape and then make a big play down the field because of that.
Talk to ESPN about the uniqueness of the situation you're in of being an interim coach for 11 weeks, 9 games, and 2 open weeks. How you say you've handled the situation and made sure the fabric of this team didn't unravel after Coach Pry was fired?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a different transition. I think our team has done a really good job. The Leadership Council has done a great job. Our coaching staff has done a great job of understanding where we put our emphasis and where we wanted to put our intent. And that has been really to keep these guys, support these guys, pour into them, continue to keep coaching them hard, but understanding what they're going through, showing them a lot of joy, finding the joy and the fun back into the game, and preparing them to go out and play at the highest level. We had a lot of games left, had a lot of story to continue to try to write, and these guys have stepped up to that challenge. They've really come together. No matter what the scoreboard says, I'm extremely honored and proud to have been a part of this with them, and all that focus needs to stay on them. But to my point on that, I think we've handled it as best we can. And I think we've shown a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and a lot of resiliency through all of it, and I've been very proud of that.
I know it's not the situation you asked for, or a difficult situation. Have you enjoyed it? I mean, do you find spots to enjoy it, or has it just been overwhelming at times?
The thing that I do enjoy, I enjoy, being around these guys, going to practice, being a part of that part of it. Staff has been great. I think it has reaffirmed to me personally that I'm pretty good at this part of it, as being a head coach and leading guys and giving them the opportunity to go be successful. And I think my approach and the way I do that is unique, but I do enjoy it, and I'd love to have another opportunity to do it somewhere.
We're talking Caleb Woodson later. What have you noticed in his growth this year from where he was at the beginning of the season, captaincy being stripped, to overcoming an injury, to being part now where he's a starter and contributing on defense?
Some of those things early, that was so long ago, but the one thing I can tell you about Caleb is highly motivated, plays the game the way you want him to play it, which is he plays it with a lot of passion. He plays it with a lot of physicality. He approaches the linebacker position in a way that you want. He's intent about his purpose, and he's hungry about it each and every day. He's fought through some injuries. He's fought through other things, and he has been consistent. He's been reliable. He's been resilient, and he's been a great motivator and leader for us on and off the field.
How much do you help him grow from situations like that early to get to the point where you trust him being on the field?
Well, I mean, he's always had our trust, and he always will. So he's a great young man that's done great things around here. He's a special player and a special person.